I'm here running a half marathon. The reason my ears are blurred is because I went through a bunch of open earbuds to see which ones I wanted to choose for the race. So stay with me and we'll go through all of them and figure out which ones are the best and which ones I chose for the run.
That congealed glob of face is me doing one of my many tests to find you the best open running earbuds that I could possibly find. This video is focused on open earbuds and bone conduction, meaning no in-ear buds. While in-ear buds definitely have superior sound, a lot of times it can kind of seem like you have earplugs in, and as a runner, you want to be able to hear the outside world around you. However, I will be including the Apple AirPod Pro 2s just because they are so popular and it gives you a reference to base everything off of. So to grade all the earbuds, I have four different criteria that we're gonna look at. Fit, how comfortable is it, and will it stay in your ear during your run? The controls, how easy is it to operate with your hands when you're running? The price, and the sound quality. They should be loud enough for you to hear. My ear is gonna be a different shape than yours. I've got an earlobe and I would say I'm pretty big for an ear. I did a little shake test here to really stress out these earbuds. And the themes that I found were that the earring style almost always fits really well on any type of ear. The over ears are kind of all over the place. Some fit really well, like these, and others like the Cleers who have a huge driver just seem to not be very well balanced. And these Sony Link buds, well, they just flew out of my ears. These tests are kind of extreme though. You could still run with any of these buds. It's just kind of to show you how inherently unstable some of them are. In terms of the highest score for comfort, the Earfun Open Jumps just happen to fit me the best. The slim profile of the cabling over my ear and the small driver size just made it a really easy fit. Everyone that is an earring style got the same score of a 9. They all did phenomenal, including the over ears with the Shox Open Run Pro 2s, the Nanks, and the Suntos. None of these earbuds are gonna really sound amazing. They're just gonna sound good enough. Especially when you're running. You're not gonna pick up the nuanced notes in between like a bass and a guitar string while you're running in an open environment. The lowest scoring earbuds were gonna be the bone conductions. All of them, they sound really bad. However, I will say that the Shox Open Run Pro 2, with their additional driver for more of the music to come at your ears, just sounded way better than the Nanks and the Suntos. In terms of sound quality, the Apple AirPod Pro 2s sounded the best at 9.5, followed closely by the Cleers and the Raycons, specifically because those two have very large ear drivers, and you get great sound for it, but also it's very uncomfortable because of how big they are smashed up against your ear. Another component to sound was the microphone quality. I figured the best simulation was a windy environment where you discuss a midlife crisis. And that's why when you work a white-collar job, you're selling your soul. Talking to my wife and kids that I don't have. My son is named David. I'm considering quitting my job. If I don't quit my job, I may have to stop something else. I told John this is the very last time I'm going to deal with these things. It's not a fun thing for me to deal with. When I go to the break room, he always surrounds me by the water cooler. So I go to the bathroom, and two guys come up on either side of me. And so, then I walk out of the bathroom. Finally, I go back to my desk, and there's a little package for me waiting on top of it. And I say, who put this on my desk? And everyone looks around, and I look at Jonathan, and I throw the cake at him. And so then I leave the office, and I go to my boss. And you talk in the wind, it blows in your face. Then I went to a hotel room and sat in darkness for a while. Controls are one of the most important parts of an earbud, specifically because you just don't have a lot of time in the middle of your gait to be reaching up and trying to change a song, and for it to not to respond to your touch or do something unintended is just very frustrating and annoying. That's why I preferred physical buttons over touchless buttons, and at the top of the category was the Bose Ultras. They have a huge button over the battery capsule that is very responsive and just gives you good tactile feedback. The Shox Open Fit 2s also had a nice button for this, and the Earfun Open Jumps, even though they were buttonless, always responded well to touch. Whether I tapped it quickly or slowly, it was always consistent in its response. And finally, the price. At over $200 for the Bose and the Cleers, this is just where the law of diminishing returns does not justify the price. And the Shox Open Dots are good, but they're not almost $200 good. So the best priced out of all of these goes to the Earfun Open Jumps. At a pretty reasonable $79, I just felt that these provided the same sophistication and performance as much more expensive earbuds. You can also consider the ultra affordables like the Tozos and the Soundpeats, but honestly, the quality just isn't there, especially in the controls.
Settings, these things suck. These controls below.
So you might be wondering, which earbud did I find was the best? Well, the best ones, and the ones I chose to run my half marathon with, were the Earfun Open Jumps. With a total score of 9.5, these things far exceeded all of the other earbuds. And obviously your preferences will probably be different than mine, but this is a good starting place. So I decided to entrust the next 3 hours of my legs running underneath me to the Earfuns. What I didn't know about these events was the level of enthusiasm and support everyone gives each other. Friends and family members would wait along the route with signs for their loved ones, and even if you were a stranger, they would cheer you on.
Well, that's it. We finished the half marathon. I can barely walk now, so I had to kind of hobble it through the finish line, but the earbuds lasted the whole time. No problem whatsoever, even with sweaty hands. 13 miles, 13.1 miles with these.
So there you are. You've seen my choice for the best earbud. Obviously, your choice may differ, and that's totally fine. Just remember, comparison is the thief of joy, so eventually you've just got to make a decision and go with it. Just try not to cheap out too much. Those ones aren't really worth it. If you want to support my channel, you can use the affiliate links below. It really helps me out. Most of these earbuds I bought, a few were sent in, but it's all listed clearly in the description for you to look through. Thanks for being here, and hopefully I'll see you guys at the next marathon.